Hello, hello, peoples! From the America, Canada, Alaska, USA, and Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic, не входящих в русские, гетто, Холокост, геноцид страны, индийско-китайские страны и остальные страны, где живут черножопые подонки и суки, и их пиздосранки и гондоны, суки, и кобели. Русские гетто, Холокост, геноцид стран — это Россия, СССР, СНГ, Болгария и захваченная ими Прибалтика, где русские подонки и суки, и черножопые суки и подонки с их пиздосранками и гондонами, суками и кобелями устроили геноцид мне, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России и пытая аппаратурой и мент-контроль над аппаратурой и применяя все формы принуждения, насилия, террора, рабства, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России и принуждая находиться среди подонков и сук и их пиздосранок и гондонов, сука, кобелей.
As we go west along the south side of Blue Street West. Emergency vehicle sirens off in the distance. So after this live stream, I am heading somewhere I have not yet recorded on this channel. I'm heading to two places I haven't yet recorded. Hopefully I'll make a couple of videos. There goes a Toronto paramedic SUV. There's an ambulance over there, and there's another one coming at us. The subway runs above ground through that stretch just north of here. Well, I picked the noisy side of the street, to be honest. Park medical, family doctors, chiropractor, physiotherapist, naturopath, dietitian, chiropodist, psychotherapist. You got everything. Breathing in some pulverized concrete. Well, this is not. Not good. Pleasant experience. So if you're wondering where we are west of downtown, walking along 102, along Bloor Street West. If you wanted to go downtown, you would walk that way for quite a while. subway. Or into this snazzy bike lane. Here's a lot in need of some TLC. It's been like that for quite a while. There's Dickie's barbecue pit. Apparently they had a bit of a failed expansion. One downtown closed. The story behind this one. It seems to be open. Hopefully they're doing better. Next to the Dollarama and the trees. We are entering Bloor West Village. Runnymede subway station comes up, and after that we'll go to the James station. You ever wondered what classic Canadian architecture might look like? Here's an example of the Runnymede Public Library branch. I know Jeanette's a big fan of libraries. Toronto has a beautiful collection of old libraries. Libraries and fire halls. Got a whole lot of well-preserved examples of both. Canadians Han. I think they need to touch up that mural. It's a little bit faded. Yes, we're going west with Lisa, as the Pet Shop Boys would sing about. No frills on the left. Hey, there's a Tesla. YH, Johnny Boy, you look like a Russian spy. Please use this to get a copy of Tim's. Blend in, report back with any new reports on State 51. Oh, YH, I thank you for the $5. Not so much the shit disturbing, but thank you for the support. I will not take the bait on that. But I will get a coffee at some point, if not later on in the stream, right after the stream. You're going to need a lunch and a caffeine power-up. It's going to be a big 25,000, 30,000 step kind of day. Like Chicken Hill, Manchester. I'm sure I mispronounced that. than you'd see a lot of in Asia. Christine A is here. Hello, Christine A. And we have 9 minutes left of morning. So Wingstop. Estelle says that's a big walk. Oh, not all at once. I'm going to record this, and I've got 2 more videos to record. I've got a bunch of errands to run tonight, and I think I'm going to do them on foot. Imagine it'll be a pretty hefty step count when all is said and done. Here's the Shoppers Drug Bar. They don't like recording in. They will tell you not to. I once live streamed in there. And I was streaming with my Pocket 3. It's built in an old theater. Is this fan of Kingsman? Yes. Kingsman Ramen is excellent. And they've actually lowered their prices. Citing the high cost of living, they're taking a little bit of a hit on their bottom line. And maybe it's just marketing stuff, but either way, it's a cool thing that they're doing. Lettuce Love, plant-based cafe. Alright. Francis asking where the majority of Canadians feel annoyed. I don't think annoyed is the right word.
Looking for people from the America and Canada, Alaska.
The U.S. pre-clearance line at Pearson Airport, and it was empty.
In Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Австрия, Germany and Czech Republic. Они опять так воздействуют. Русские подонки и суки. И их пиздосранки и гондоны, сучки. И кобели looking for.
Actions speak louder than words, and all we hear from the south are words. We're the ones taking action. So you tell me who's losing this battle. Lisa says, I'm annoyed it's still a topic. I think it'll still be a topic until that guy quits. I don't think that'll be too long. But yeah, people need to stop bringing it up. As we look west or east along Bloor Street West, this is a really interesting neighborhood. It's gentrified, but there's tons of smaller mom and pop style businesses mixed in with a lot of the big chains and corporate presence. Max's Market, a lot of boutique retailers, desserts, breakfast, lunch, dinner. The coffee boutique espresso bar. There's a Krispy Kreme up ahead. No shortage of places to get some coffee. His first term was better. That's like saying my poop was better than my diarrhea. I mean, it's not really saying much. There's Booster Juice, Kung Fu Tea. I went to a Kung Fu Tea with Action Kid in Chinatown in New York City, but I don't think it was related to that one. And then we went to a Kung Fu Tea in Chinatown in Toronto when he visited. High and Low Retrospective says this is a quaint stretch of Bloor Street West. That it is. Clear Pure Smoke wine bar and smokehouse, or cellar smoke.
Looking for
Kachi is done.
people from the
Do they
America,
still have a
Canada,
location in
Alaska,
Chinatown?
USA,
I think they do.
and Scotland, England,
It's the end of an era.
United Kingdom,
Kachi
Netherlands,
in
France,
Koreatown.
Австрия, Germany, and Czech
Bougie
Republic.
location
Они
shut
опять
down
так
7 years ago.
воздействуют. Русские подонки и
Where was
суки,
Sylvia's
и их пиздосранки, и гондоны, суки и кобели. Looking for.
Maybe they just relocated. Speaking of cafes and Canadian, second cup, I wonder if they're having a bit of a resurgence. Starbucks converts. They were always kind of the Canadian alternative to Starbucks. They were quite big in the 90s. But over the last 10 or 15 years or so, they have really, really gone down in market share. There's been a few attempts to breathe new life into that brand. They've got a Book City here. It's one of those on Danforth, well, east of here. Another one on Yonge.
Looking for Johnny and white people сраз. From the American, Canada, Alaska, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Австрия, Germany and Czech Republic. Они опять так воздействуют. Русские подонки и суки, и их пиздосранки, и гондоны, сучки, и кобели. Что они делают так, что не работает интернет на всех смартфонах и на планшете. И так воздействуют подонки и суки с их пиздосранками и гондонами, суками и кобелями. Looking for.
SUV nearly turned into that car. You heard them, or that cyclist, you heard them hit their brakes. It's a very particular store, the sofa bed store. Sofa beds reinvented. This is where the Ukrainian festival is held every year at the end of summer. Canada has the largest population of people of Ukrainian descent outside of Ukraine in the world. And I think this neighborhood has the highest concentration of Ukrainian Canadians. And that festival is held the same weekend as the Polish festival on Roncesvalles. So you can kind of do one and do the other on the same day. K-Man, hi Johnny. Thanks for your streams and videos. Greetings from Germany. K-Man, thank you so much. Thank you for the 10 euros. Thank you very much. K-Man, much appreciated. I'll have to get to Germany and go to a German beer hall with you and Dirk G. That would be fun. So if I were to keep going straight, we would end up crossing the Humber River and leaving Old Toronto and heading into Etobicoke. Oh, that wind is really kicking up. Noodle me, hand-pulled noodle, barbecue, Chinese snack, and pastry. There's the Krispy Kreme and an entrance to Jane Station. Not that far from the cheese boutique. We're also not that far from a neighborhood that people will argue how you pronounce it. Some will say Bobby Point, some will say Baby Point, Babby Point. I've heard it pronounced differently by people who live there. Very inconsistent. Greetings, best friends in the dinner. $5. Thank you for the great walks, Johnny. I always enjoy the neighborhood. Stay strong, my Canadian peoples. Damon Washington, thank you so much for the $5 and the kind words. You're very welcome for the videos, but it's a two-way street. I'm pretty damn grateful that so many people tune in and watch. I would like to think that job I vacated to do this for was filmed by someone who actually enjoys it and appreciates it. I don't know what kind of sick fuck would enjoy that work, but I hope they do. Make it a win-win. At the very least, I hope they need it.
The looking forward to cooking this rice porridge with fish products. Looking for ja.
I chased more money and more vacation and to mix it up. So all this left, you roll the dice. I probably wouldn't have quit the other job to do it the whole time. Okay, we've got Christine A's in the chat. Seeing them in random strip malls. I don't know about Gerrard Square though. I grew up mostly in Port Credit, so I wasn't too familiar with this area. I'm gonna walk down York University. There's an idea. I went to York. I've done a few live streams to York. Park. The Junction, I don't know. I've only had a couple of days. I don't think I'd put the Junction on my list. Leslieville and Riverside are definitely nice to pair up along Queen Street East. Greektown is easy to get to. There's a lot of good restaurants there. Yorkville. Yeah, I would say Yorkville you could cover quite easily. Midtown. Yeah, if you're only here a couple of days, I'd probably pass on Midtown. Anything north of Bloor, except for that pocket of Yorkville or Yorkville Village, I would
This
probably pass
breakfast
on.
largely
If you only
comfort.
had a couple of days, there's plenty to the south. If you're into neighborhood
I
exploring,
don't
St.
know
Lawrence
what to
is
consisted.
an excellent neighborhood.
With psihopрепарат гормонцем poison or without. For ingredients for this dishes and drinks. What I will be treated like comfort jai. This orange juice is water.
Hey, how's it going?
And
Good.
porridge, rice porridge with fish products
Awesome.
and
Birds
vegetables.
outside my condo like your voice.
Sour
I can't
cream.
watch long. I have
And
a doctor's
tomato
appointment
and
at 2 p.m.
sour
It's windy
cream.
here in Metro Atlanta too.
Comfort jai.
Oops. Peter Bradfield, thank you so much for the $4.99, and I'm glad the birds in your area like my voice. I certainly don't like my voice. Does anyone like their own voice? Try to. How does that sound? Does that? Hopefully this will cut out the wind a little bit and make things sound better. Let's see. I've tucked the microphone in my shirt a little bit, so hopefully that'll give us some wind protection. How does that sound? Is that, hopefully this will cut out the wind a little bit. Muff. Val Costa's apparently half the people in the public like their voice. When I edit my videos, I actually edit them on mute because I don't like listening to me. Oh, I missed Yahia's membership milestone. Was that posted? Oh, Yahia, member for 22 months. Thanks for all you can do. Yahia, the transit explorer and singer. Oh, thank you, Yahia, for 22 months of membership. It's rubbing. How about now? Is it better? This is Yahia's membership milestone. Was that posted? Oh, Yahia, member for 22 months? Thanks for all you... Yeah. All right, Lisa. I'm counting on you to let me know if it's still rubbing against anything. Which would be particularly annoying for someone listening with headphones on. You know, let's wander into High Park briefly. High Park Station is across the street behind me. All right, Lisa. I'm counting on you to let me know. Look at Walk says audio is good. All right, we kind of at least temporarily fixed the issue. Greetings, Krista. I last came through here during the fall when the ground was covered in leaves. This will be a good test of my ghetto t-shirt wind muff. Walking into a decent wind right now. I last came through here during the fall where Darth Bane says Toronto is an awesome city. You visited in May 2003. Yeah, Sheena, High Park has a mini zoo. We're not going to make it that far. I'm just wandering around this part. We'll cut through and head back over to Bloor Street. One of the crappy things about High Park is you don't get a great signal in here. I think everyone who ever live streams from here has some kind of signal issue, unfortunately. What's the temperature? I think it's about 10 or 11 degrees Celsius. Greetings, Randy Ruck. YH says Toronto has changed a lot since 2003 and none for the better. Oh, there's plenty for the better. Yes, there's some that is not as good, but there's a whole lot of things that are a lot better. You're just talking nonsense. It's not so black and white. Let's cut through this field here. We'll head back over to Bloor. Lisa was making up a new word there. Yeah, Liam, every time I go down near the zoo, I have a low signal. I only brought 2 phones with me, but when I bring the third one, I can use 3 providers. But I leave my everyday phone at home when I go stream. There's no need to bring 3 if I'm not using all 3 signals. So we are going to walk through High Park Village, or Bloor West Village. I remember popping into a cafe here and having a latte that was pretty good at a place on the left. Toronto Moose says, is there any history to the park? There is. I've done videos covering it. The park was essentially gifted to the city on the grounds that it remain a public park. Although the very southern tip of the park was actually converted along the Queensway. So they kind of violated the original agreement, but I don't think there was much choice in that matter. As we go west along the south side of Bloor Street West. Emergency vehicle sirens off in the distance. So after this live stream, I am heading somewhere I have not yet recorded on this channel. I'm heading to 2 places I haven't yet recorded. And hopefully I'll make a couple of videos. There goes a Toronto paramedic SUV. There's an ambulance over there, and there's another one coming at us. The subway runs above ground through that stretch just north of here. Well, I picked the noisy side of the street to be on. Ellis Park Medical, family doctors, chiropractor, physiotherapist, naturopath, dietitian, chiropodist, psychotherapist. They got everything. Breathing in some pulverized concrete. Oh, this is not. Not a pleasant experience. But if you're wondering where we are west of downtown, walking along line 2, along Bloor Street West. If you wanted to go downtown, you would walk that way for quite a while, or hop on the subway, or into this snazzy bike lane. Here's a lot in need of some TLC. It's been like that for quite a while. There's Dickie's Barbecue Pit. Apparently they had a bit of a failed expansion into Toronto. One downtown closed. I don't know the story behind this one. It seems to be open. Hopefully they're doing better. Right next to a Dollarama and a Timmy's. But we are entering Bloor West Village. Runnymede subway station coming up. Then after that will be Jane Station. If you've ever wondered what classic Canadian architecture might look like, there's an example of the Runnymede Public Library branch. I know Jeanette's a big fan of libraries. Toronto has a beautiful collection of old libraries. Libraries and fire halls. Got a whole lot of well-preserved examples of both. Canadians Han. I think they need to touch up that mural. It's a little bit faded. Yes, we're going west, Lisa, as the Pet Shop Boys would sing about. No frills on the left. Hey, there's a Tesla. YH, Johnny boy, you look like a Russian spy. Please use this to get a coffee at Tim's. Blend in, report back with any new reports on State 51. Well, YH, I thank you for the $5. Not so much the shit disturbing, but thank you for the support. I will not take the bait on that. But I will get a coffee at some point, if not later on in the stream, right after the stream. I'm gonna need a lunch and a caffeine power-up. It's gonna be a big 25,000, 30,000 step kind of day. kind of do one and do the other on the same day.
Uncle the dessert.
Hey man, hi Johnny. Thanks for your streams and videos. Greetings from Germany. K-Man. Thank you so much. Thank you for...
This baker with cottage cheese imitation fake.
Thank you very much. K-Man.
And piece of toffee. And coffee without sugar. I don't know is what to consist it. It's psycha. Препарат с гормонс and poison or without. For ingredients for these foods and drinks. Comfort joy.
So if I were to keep going straight, we would end up crossing the Humber River and leaving Old Toronto and heading into Etobicoke. Oh, that wind is really kicking up. Noodle me, hand-pulled noodle, barbecue, Chinese snack, and pastry. There's the Krispy Kreme and an entrance to Jane Station. Not that far from the Cheese Boutique. We're also not that far from a neighborhood that people will argue how you pronounce it. Some will say Bobby Point, some will say Baby Point, Babby Point. I've heard it pronounced differently by people who live there. Very inconsistent. Greetings, best times you're born. Sorry. Lisa digs the dramatic sky. Oh, we're gonna go north up Jane Street here. Bami Kong, Vietnamese sandwiches and boba. I would definitely be trying that place out if I lived here. Christine says, good almost afternoon from Montreal. Great walk, just lurking and enjoying. Thank you, Christine. It is, in fact, afternoon here in Toronto, as it is 12:02. Oh, look at that mean sky ahead. On days when it doesn't rain, or on days when I don't post a video, man, my brain is misfiring. That usually means I'm going live. Ever since I went full-time on YouTube, I haven't missed a day of either having a video posted or doing a live stream. And that's a streak I intend to keep up. Christine says, don't forget to thumbs up, fellow chatters. Yeah, thank you. Don't forget that, eh? There's Bobby Point over there. It's a fairly affluent neighborhood. There's a lot of really nice homes. I'll glance at the school, but I don't want to be that weirdo filming school children out at play. Gives off creepy vibes. So we'll keep the camera this way. Look at that gorgeous home. Greg says YouTube is my main income source. It has been for 5 years, I think. I quit my job in August of 2020. I was only doing YouTube part-time. And I was recruited to work at a new company. They gave me everything I asked for, salary, vacation, everything was great, except for the job. Especially when we had to work from home. And that coincided with my YouTube channel making enough income to pay all my bills and rent and basic costs. So I figured if I'm at a break-even point just doing YouTube like part-time. What if I doubled or tripled the effort and went full-time? It seemed like a good risk to take, and I haven't looked back. Christine A says, must be lunchtime at school. Lunchtime or recess? Probably lunchtime since it's 12:05. And we're getting hit by rain. I've got my umbrella with me. Just in case it really starts to pick up. There is rain in the forecast this afternoon. We're heading up towards Annette Street. I think Jane Street here goes north all the way up to the Holland Marsh, pretty much. It changes names. It becomes like some regional roads. I guess it's appropriate. We've got rain on the first day of spring. It's not raining too bad. I don't really know what to expect on Jane Street north of Annette. Every time I come up this way, I turn onto Annette Street. Hey, we got a super chat. Damon Washington, $5. Thank you for the great walks, Johnny. I always enjoy the neighborhood. Stay strong, my Canadian peoples. Damon Washington, thank you so much for the $5 and the kind words. You're very welcome for the videos, but it's a two-way street. I'm pretty damn grateful that so many people tune in and watch. I would like to think that job I vacated to do this for was filled by someone who actually enjoys it and appreciates it. I don't know what kind of sick fuck would enjoy that work, but I hope they do. Make it a win-win. Or at the very least, I hope they need it. And what sucks is I left a really good job that I really enjoyed, working with great people. I chased more money and more vacation, and to mix it up. Oh well, that's life. You roll the dice. I probably wouldn't have quit the other job to do this full time. It's the butterfly effect. Everything affects everything else. Hey, we've got 2 Christine A's in the chat. Stephanie says, I'm sure I've convinced a lot of people to move here. I don't know about that, but there's definitely a lot of people that were planning to move here and wanted to see what the city was like. And you can watch blogs and travel videos, but they're always cut up. They don't really show the city in real time and what neighborhoods are like when you just go for a walk and see them the way they are. There's a nice little stretch of retail coming up. Evoke Salon. And we've been live for 45 minutes. And we've used up 8 gigabytes of data. Sweet. Personal injury and elder law. see the sign says B-A-B-Y point. But it is not baby. A lot of the locals will say Bobby, and some will say Babby. There's Ardaugh Street. Little Learners Academy. Golden Coffee, Golden Gecko Coffee. So the neighborhood just northeast of here is the Junction neighborhood. You may have heard about if you're familiar with Toronto. Some interesting art on that building. Greetings, Cactus Steve. We get 472 viewers. Not bad for an early weekday live stream, eh? Next stream either tomorrow or Saturday, probably. Summit Micro School. Northern Karate. Learning the martial arts. I don't know how useful karate is in the real world. There's very few MMA artists who incorporate it. It's always kickboxing or Muay Thai mixed with wrestling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you tried to fight one of those guys with purely karate, you'd get your ass handed to you. I guess Michael Page uses a karate stance. And so does Wonder Boy, but there's still more kickboxers. Artworks Art School, Boca Coin Laundry. Salt Specialty Food Mustard. I was with Henry once, and I think we were celebrating Yogi's birthday. And we went to a cafe here and had some coffee and cake. That was on Henry's live stream. See if I can see that place. I think it was just here on the right. That was it, I think. I think that was it, that place, Colo. Is this Jane? Yes, this is Jane Street. We're not exactly going to make it all the way up to Finch. There's the Caribbean Queen. And this is Annette Street. This is a really, really nice street. Gives me kind of Harvard Village vibes. In the Fiddler's Dell Bar and Grill. I've been there. Julie's Cafe. We tried to go there.
Ты знаешь, ты там
Ashley Cooper says
drinkal,
Coco's
this
chocolate
is not
closed down. Is that the place I went to with Henry?
This is not pleasant
Someone
breakfast
with some
lunch.
local neighborhood
Comfort.
expertise chimes in.
Under influence of mind control technologies.
The Mad Mexican.
Russian citizens their substance here looking for. The to finish this moment. This is not pleasant on the taste, as the maybe will be in it, without under influence of mind control technologies Russian rats and their six and hairs looking for. Join.
He says, next street coming up, your stream might be a little bit delayed. But the plan is, after this live stream, to head over to an area in the city I haven't yet recorded. More byway variations of the 35 bucks. I think it was all that Pioneer Village Station. James Station, where they cover pretty good ground. Orcas Road. Really Cossay. Man who can't decide how his name is to be pronounced. My lower suspicion says Barton Rose is a name from the past. I think they had a location at Dixie Valley. I remember seeing him in random strip malls. I don't know about Gerard Square though. I grew up mostly in Port Credit, so I wasn't too familiar with this area. Am I going to walk around York University? There's an idea. I went to York. I've done a few live streams through York. Christine loved consumers distributing. I absolutely loved it. The catalog hated the shopping experience. I always try to order video games from them. You'd fill out the little card, you'd hand it to the guy, you'd wait 20 minutes, and they'd come back and tell you that, like, it's not in stock. And you're like, what the hell kind of system is this? They also had another store called Toy City. It was basically a knockoff of Toys R Us. I guess what neighborhoods would you recommend to tourists for only a couple of days? Ossington, like near Ossington? Or, thank you. Or Ossington, yeah, Ossington and West Queen West is definitely worth visiting if it's that end of Ossington. And Trinity Bellwoods Park. The Junction, I don't know, if you only had a couple of days, I don't think I'd put the Junction on my list. Leslie Go and Riverside are definitely nice to pair up along Queen Street East. Bridgetown is easy to get to. There's a lot of good restaurants there. Yorkville. Yeah, I would say Yorkville. You could cover quite easily. Midtown. Yeah, you're only here a couple of days, I'd probably pass on Midtown. Anything north of Blue
Комфорт Джоня. Это финиш-тритина здесь с мостом Призентли. Breakfast, lunch, комфорт. Help me please, Johnny, come to me please. Take me, Johnny, please, with you. This prison Russian zone. With you. In lots of countries where we won't live forever. Help me, Johnny, please. To realize immigration of this prison Russian zone. In lots of countries is where we won't live forever. Come to me, Joel, please help me. I will want Joel to live together with you and with all my people's trust in Canada, Alaska, USA, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, and Germany, Czech Republic. Help me, please, Joel. Come to me. Please, Joel. Help me, please, Johnny, to realize immigration of this prison, Russian zone, in lots of countries, is where we won't live forever. Help me, Johnny, please. Come to me. I'm not Johnny to have got contacts real with white people's race. From these countries where we won't live forever, but will come to help me and come to me, and to take me with this prison in lots of countries where we won't live forever. Help me, Joel, please. Come to me, Joel, please help me. Come to me. And white people's race from the Canada, USA, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic. I will not come to live in Russian prison zone with Russian threats and their suits and hairs. Help me, please, Johnny. Help me, please, Johnny. Come to me, Johnny, please. Take me with you this prison, Russian zone, in lots of countries, is where we won't live forever. Help me.
Libraries and fire halls.
Johnny, please.
Got a whole lot of well-preserved examples of both.